Just going to record the meeting.
All right, sir.
All right, so we're at number 1 here, right? Now, this was the CSEC, what was the CSEC 2017? But we completed majority of these questions before though, all right? As I said before, during mathematics, these questions were from 2001 to 2020, all right? So like how you are getting the feel of these questions now, it is good because even though we don't necessarily have to have a marathon to go through past papers, we have this class so we can go through them so you guys can have the feeling of how the paper would set up, right? Now, the first question says, which of the following is the best definition for excretion? All right, now let us look at A. A says loss of excess materials. B says loss of indigestible materials. C says removal of metabolic waste. And D says removal of unwanted substances. What do you think excretion is, based on what we have done so far? Because we have explained this so far, you know.
I'd say the removal of metabolic waste. Yeah.
Removal of metabolic waste is good. So the answer there is C. All right, removal of metabolic wastes. All right, now let's look at number 2. Number 2 is showing us what? This is showing us a cell, right? This looks like a plant cell to me. Now it shows us also the scale, which is 1 micrometer in length. All right, and micrometer tends to the -6. Now they are asking us now, the part labeled X is oh, Tina joined us. Welcome, Tina. All right, so the part labeled X, what do you think that section would be?
A strand of DNA.
Excellent, a strand of DNA. All right, now once you look at it, right, you see the strands curling in different directions, right? So that definitely shows you that it's a strands of DNA. No, it could be a nucleus because the nucleus is where the DNA is taking place, or the DNA is actively playing its role. All right. Now let's.
Hey, Josh is having Wi-Fi issues, so he soon join.
Okay, I'm recording the meeting, so I'll post it in the group later on. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. If we are looking at number 3 now, which of the labeled parts represents rib cage? All right. Now, look at this section, guys. Where do you think the rib cage is located? All right, number 1 is what? Eye is what?
That's the I don't want to guess, but you know, the passageway.
All right, so the passageway where air is being transported or transferred, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So what is that called? Start with T.
Oh, is it the trachea?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, what is I?
I would be the rib cage.
Good. What is I, which is 3?
The lungs.
The lungs.
Okay, but look at it now. Are you seeing that the overall thing would be the lungs? But these small little sections, right? So these would be what?
Bronchiole or something.
Good. So let's look at it now. So this is the bronchus, right? This is the trachea. This is the bronchus. Are you seeing my cursor on the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the trachea. This section here is the bronchus. This branch off section is called the bronchioles. And inside the bronchioles, we have some smaller substances. They start with A. That's where gaseous exchange takes place. What are those called?
I don't know.
You remember it? So they are found in the bronchioles, right? And they are very small. And that's
I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember what it's called.
Okay, it's called alveoli. You ring a bell,
yeah.
right? Good. So the answer for the rib cage is B. Now let's move on to number 4. An enzyme is best defined as a molecule which A increases the rate of a chemical reaction, B decreases the rate of a chemical reaction, C increases the rate of a chemical reaction but remains unchanged at the end of the reaction, and D decreases the rate of a reaction but remains remains unchanged at the end of the reaction? What's the answer here?
C.
C.
D?
No, C.
No,
C.
C.
Oh, C. Okay, good. It increases the rate of the reaction, and guess what? Enzymes don't take part in no reaction at all. None whatsoever. All right, so the answer there is C. Number 5. Which of the following statements is not true of the xylem of a flowering plant? Not true. Let's go.
Oh, sorry, so I guess this one, but I think I put B. I'm not sure. I don't remember.
B.
I think it's A.
A. It is non-living. No, man. Xylem is non-living, so that is true.
Was it B?
It contains mitochondria. And C, it has lignifying walls for support. Yes, it does have lignifying wall for support. D, it transport what? So the answer is B, boy.
Yeah.
So what you can do, elimination, right? It does transport water, mineral salts. It has a lignifying wall, because remember when we did xylem vesting, didn't you remember that specific hormone that was called lignin? You remember that word? We did it, man. We did transport, right? And there's a specific hormone that called lignin that helps to allow the water, the xylem, to straight. It was some circular ring thing that was around the xylem water, the xylem vessel, that keeps the xylem upright and up straight. You remember that a specific structure in the xylem vessel? You can check it. I do understand. I just uploaded something to the portal on the summer term 2021, and Corey was unable to see it. So I'm just going to check with Mr. Gray after this class so we can have that.
Yes, I couldn't see what you uploaded last night either.
Right. I need you guys.
I don't think anything is like going onto it. Like nothing is going up.
Go again.
Nothing is going up onto the portal. Like when the teachers upload, we just can't see nothing.
So it's not only my section.
No, like literally the portal is like blank.
Okay. I need to speak with Mr. Gray. So it's for every teacher, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So as I said before, guys, we know what is mitochondria, right? It's supposed to cell with energy. We know what is the lignin, which I said before. It's some circular ring around the section of the. Hold on. Let me see something. All right. Lignin. Lignin, xylem. All right. So I'm going to show you how the lignin is.
My iPad speak now. That's disgusting. Oh, we gotta go through past papers.
Sure. Right. Now I'm going to try.
There's a past paper.
I'm going to share my screen.
Natty, this is the exam.
All right.
Oh, it's the exam art.
Yeah.
Exam. All right. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Can you see the lignin section, which are these circle spiral area that holds the xylem vessel together?
Yes, sir.
Right. So that is what we call the lignin vessels, or the lignin structure. That's what holds that section together, right? So it holds the xylem upright, so it doesn't switch or it doesn't deform in shape. So that's the function of the lignin vessel, or the lignin, right? So you guys need to know them. Or let's go back to this now. So I just wanted to show you how it is structured. Yes, xylem vessels are non-living. Yes, they do contain mitochondria for energy to push the water molecules and the salt molecules up the tube. And yes, they transport water and mineral salts. So the answer is B, right?
You just said it contains mitochondria.
Sorry. The answer is, so it doesn't contain mitochondria. The answer is B, all right? Now, which of the following options best identifies some of the transport substance in animals? Now, amino acids, hormones, and sucrose. What do you think? Oh, and by the way,
I got this one wrong, but I remember that the answer is all three of them.
Okay. It is all three of them. So if you
Yeah,
do
sir,
it,
I didn't know sucrose transports whatever.
oh, I thought I said it did all three of them.
Yeah, no, it is. The answer is all three of them, but I got that question wrong.
Okay. You put only two?
Yeah, I put amino acids and hormones.
Okay, so it's all three of them. In number 5, let me go back to number 5 a little bit. What do you think allow the substances to move up the tube? What is the name of that process
Sir,
that
what are
allows
you
things to
talking
move
about?
against their concentration gradient?
For what? Which question are you asking now?
Number 5. So when the
Oh,
water molecules and the salt molecules are moving up the tube, right? They are moving against a concentration gradient. What is that process called? It starts with A. It's a 2-word. Active.
huh?
So the first word is active. What's the next one?
Transport.
Transport. Right?
Mm-hmm.
No. Number 6. Which of the following options best identify some of the transport substances in animals? Yes, we do transport amino acids. Yes, we definitely do transport hormones. And yes, we transport sucrose. All right? So the answer is all 3. Now, number 7 here, we have a hard structure. And the question is saying, which of the following options correctly identifies the structure labeled I, 3, and 4? What's the answer here? I looks
B.
like the aorta.
Isn't it B?
B.
Yeah, I think it's B, right?
You sure?
Wait, hold on, let me look.
Looks like the pulmonary artery.
Oh yes,
Look
sir,
at it
it's
carefully.
A. It's A, right.
Right. So you're seeing that whenever you are identifying the aorta, right? The aorta always have 3 cups, all right? Because it's basically the largest artery found in the body. So it has 3 smaller cups that allows blood to flow out onto different sections of the body, all right? So always remember that. It's the largest artery. It has 3 cups, all right, that allows blood to flow out of the body to different specific organs. So the answer there is A. So I is aorta, I is pulmonary artery, 3 is pulmonary vein, and 4 is bicuspid, or what we call mitral valve. You need to know the 2 names for them. Artificial immunity can be best described as immunity. What's the answer here? Artificial immunity, now we know.
Is, wait, hold on. Carbon the body. Wait, it is. Oh, B.
B, because guess what? A, C, and D would be passive immunity, and that would be passive natural immunity, right? Because it is a natural process. Whenever a mother is developing antibodies, it automatically develops antibodies for the child. So guess what? C is out of it completely when the mother is passed on things to the uterus, right? A, you are actively and naturally developing defense system because of your immune system. So your immune system is natural, right? So it couldn't be A, right? Let's check out D. That has been passed on from a mother's colostrum. Do you know what is colostrum?
No, sir. Nope.
Okay, so let me tell you what is colostrum now. Colostrum is basically the first milk that a mother produces for the child. It lasts about 1 to 6 weeks. It's either 1 to 5 or 1 to 6 weeks. No, that specific milk, it's not called milk. That specific substance, it is called colostrum. Why? Because it has a lot of antibodies in there. A very lot of antibodies. Because when the baby just born, right? Remember, the immune system of the baby, I won't say her or him. The immune system of the baby is not developed properly as yet because the baby just born. It's not able to develop any antibodies to fight against any external diseases or pathogens around it, right? So the mother needs to produce a lot of antibodies in the colostrum or in the first set of milk for about 1 to 6 weeks, and that will help to develop antibodies and prevent the baby from getting other diseases externally, right? So that's
Right.
colostrum.
Okay, sir.
Yes, so colostrum is the first milk produced from the mother, from 1 to 6 weeks. All right. Not only humans, animals also, cows, goats, everything. So when the persons are milking cows, right, you can't milk the cow until 2 months time. You have to wait first, because the first set of milk is called colostrum, and you don't want that milk. All right, you want the milk that is fully developed now for the calf. All right, very important. So you're in agriculture here now. All right, number 9. The best description of the role of excretion in living organisms is to
get rid of toxic waste.
get rid of toxic waste. Excellent. Which of the following organelles is site of aerobic respiration?
The mitochondria.
Mitochondria. Which enzymes are when enzymes are boiled, they are unable to function. This is because an increase in temperature, what?
Denatures the enzyme.
Denatures. Good. Once you see that word denatures, we know, and we have learned that word from what? From last year rather, when we were talking about enzymes. Good. So remember that term, denaturation of protein. Denaturation, yeah, denaturation of protein, right? Number 12. The role of respiration is best described as, what's respiration?
Release of energy. No, actually, is it a breakdown of carbs? I don't remember.
All right, so look at it now. Respiration does release energy, right? But respiration also breaks down food, right? But best described as, remember the word, best described as. So what's the answer there?
Breakdown.
You sure?
I don't know, I'm guessing. I don't know. No. Release.
Right. The release of energy. No, the right ventricle collects blood from the
vena. Go ahead.
Well on, man.
Father?
Sure?
No, it would be the right atrium.
Right atrium.
Yes, yeah.
Right. So the right ventricle collects blood from the right atrium. Which of the following is important in diet to develop strong bones and teeth?
Calcium.
Calcium. Calcium always do that. That's found in milk. All right. Which of the following are involved in the formation of blood clots? You know this.
This one.
Come on.
Platelets.
Platelets. Number 15. Which statement correctly describes one of the roles of water in the human body? You know this.
Oh, I guess this one too. Hold on.
I think
yes?
it does.
No, man, this shouldn't be
good. Because some of them made sense, so I didn't know which one to put.
All right, so let us start to eliminate. Let's start from D. Does D make sense?
No.
Does C make sense?
C kind of made sense.
No. All right, what is that? Oh, Josh is here.
Hi, sir.
Good morning. So internet is working properly now, right? All right, let's go to number C. Sorry, letter C, right? Now, as an insulating layer for the body, do you know what is an insulator, Tina?
Yeah, I do.
What is an insulator?
It's like that thing that you have like to keep something a specific temperature.
Okay.
Something. I don't know how to explain it. You know what I mean?
So insulator is a material, right? That is used to coat another material to keep it at a specific temperature, a specific condition, right?
Okay, yeah.
Does water come into that section?
Water does not do that. Okay, got it.
All right. As a source of energy.
No.
Okay. So the answer is
A.
A. So are you seeing that B, C, and D doesn't make any sense any at all? So you can eliminate, you know.
Right.
Right. So once you realize that, or if you see that anything is too close to each other, start to eliminate them. Think about it. Water does not provide any source of energy any at all. If you drink 10 bottles of water, you don't feel energetic. What it does is that it basically allows you to rest easier, all right? But it doesn't perform a source of energy for you. Fat provides source of energy. Protein provides source of energy. Carbohydrate provides source of energy. Different food molecules, but not water any at all. Water doesn't have any nutritional content. It is not an insulating area, layer, sorry, and it does not help as a material to build up muscles. All right, so the answer is A. Water is definitely a solvent, and water dissolves most of your substances found in the body and transport them. Okay. 16. Which of the following would most likely start to occur if enzymes were not present in living cells? What would happen?
Slow rate of reaction.
Okay, so you had to know the definition for enzyme before you can answer this question, right?
Yes.
What is enzymes? Or what are enzymes?
They increase the rate of reaction.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to give you a definition. Write this down for me, please. Or type
Okay.
it. Now, if a question, paper 2 question asks you what are enzymes, that's going to be a three mark question,
All right.
2 mark question. So you need to state the specific terms, what they are looking for. Ready? Tell them when you're ready.
Yeah.
Ready? All right.
Mm.
Enzymes are catalysts. Do you know what are catalysts? We're not in chemistry.
Yes, the catalyst is the thingy that is in the enzymes that helps it speed up, right?
Okay. Do catalysts take part in the reaction?
No.
So they remain what?
The same.
So they remain good. So they remain chemically unchanged, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Good. Enzymes are a catalyst that speeds up the rate or that increase the rate. Enzymes are a catalyst that speeds up or increase the rate of a reaction. Very important now. By lowering the activation energy. By lowering the activation energy. Patrick, you are late. Have that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, read what you have.
Enzymes are catalysts that speed up the rate of a reaction by lowering the activation energy.
Okay, good. Now, number 17. Let me just explain what I mean by activation energy before I continue. Now, I believe you have done this in chemistry. Have you? Have you done activation energy in chemistry?
I don't know. Josh, have we?
Sir?
Have you guys done activation energy in chemistry?
I don't think so. Like, what is that?
All right, so let me show you an example now. You should have learned this when you are doing it.
Oh, yes, sir.
Right?
I
Oh,
Melting
this
did
is the thing with enthalpy, Josh?
Right, so it's enthalpy change, enthalpy of
Oh,
reaction.
no, we haven't done that at Heinz, sir. No, we haven't done it. I did that in extra class.
Oh. All right.
Yeah.
So let me just show you some. So can you, all right, let me just show you everybody something now. Now, for the persons who are wondering now, this is basically enthalpy of change, enthalpy of energy change, and enthalpy of different reactions, right? Now, what happens is that enzymes normally go all over this section, right? Going, and this is too far for them. So what happens is that when the substance is going over here, right? This creates a shortcut. So the catalyst creates a shortcut here, right? So that the enzyme can travel from here, so, and It doesn't need to go over that top section. No, it just can just take a shortcut and go here and finish off. So the enzymes that go over here, the substance that go over this section, to take a longer time, right? So what the enzyme does, it speeds up the rate of reaction by lowering the activation energy. So the activation energy was here. Now the enzyme put it to here. You see that? Everybody seen that?
Yes, I see.
Right. So that's how it is done. Right? So once you have learned it, then that is good. Very good. All right. Number 17. The molecule used to temporarily store the energy released during the process of respiration is, the body should know this,
ATP.
ATP. The diet of a bodybuilder should contain large amounts of what?
Protein.
Protein. When enzymes are, oh, so this question was repeated. So the answer would be what? C, denatures the protein of enzymes. Good. Sodium hydroxide and weak copper sulfate. Before I even continue, we did food test, right? Which reagent contains sodium hydroxide and copper sulfate? What's the solution called?
Wait, sir, what did you ask?
All right, so before I even finish with the question, we have sodium hydroxide and weak copper sulfate, right? Now I want to know which solution contains both of these. What's the name of it? We did it in the...
Oh, is it like copper hydroxide? I don't know.
I don't know.
Potassium
Copper
permanganate.
hydroxide a thing?
All right, so what is the test? This test of protein. Let me see if I remember that.
Biuret.
So which solution contains sodium hydroxide and weak copper sulfate?
Biuret.
Biuret. No, sodium hydroxide and weak copper sulfate solution will produce a violet color with the molecules of... What's the answer?
Dark.
Protein.
Protein.
Oh, yes.
Right. All right. No. So just two reasons why it is important for plants to store starch. Everybody got these correct. We did these questions when we were doing the marathon. I told you that questions will be repeated.
And I don't remember the answer for that.
Go again.
I don't remember the answer for that, you know.
All right. So there's two reasons why it is important for a plant to store starch. Somebody go ahead.
To use at later times.
Go again.
To use at later times.
Okay. Another reason?
For what? Like as in energy?
Yes.
Something about that it's insoluble and glucose is soluble. Something.
Oh, yeah. It's like a...
Okay.
What is it?
Okay. So look at it now. Because glucose is soluble, it can't store it as a form of glucose. It is stored as a form of starch because starch is not soluble in water, right? So you have to get organic substances to dissolve starch, all right? And that would be in the form of glycogen because starch store molecules in the form of glycogen, all right? So that would be those two reasons. This we also did, right? Name one enzyme involved in the chemical digestion of carbohydrates and one enzyme found involved in the chemical digestion of proteins in the alimentary canal. Enzymes. Who is Michael? Let me just. All right. So enzyme which digests carbohydrates in the mouth. That enzyme is found in the mouth. What is it called?
Amylase.
Amylase. Enzyme which digests protein. That's found in the stomach. What is it called?
Pepsin.
What's another enzyme found in the stomach that can digest protein? R. Renin. Pepsin and renin.
Renin?
Yes.
Renin?
Yes.
How you spell that, sir?
R-E-N-I-N.
R-E-N-I-N, okay.
So just one reason why it is important for recovering child to eat adequate amount of carbohydrates, and three reasons why it is important for recovering child to eat adequate amount of protein. We stated that carbohydrate gives the child energy, right? Protein also gives the child energy. Protein helps to repair the worn out cells, and protein helps for growth. So those are three reasons. Carbohydrate gives you energy. Protein also gives you energy. That's one. Protein helps to repair worn out cells, and protein is used for growth. Okay? Protein is also used to develop stronger hormones. Right? Proteins also helps to increase the rate of reaction because enzymes are proteins. There's a lot of reasons, guys. All right. So basically, that's it. Majority of persons got a good. Anybody got 100%?
I didn't.
You got 100? That's good.
No, sir.
No.
Oh, nobody got 100? Well, you guys got somewhere in the 80s, 90s, right?
Yes.
Good.
Yes, sir.
Do you think you could have received 100% though?
Well, the question that I got wrong, I don't think I could have gotten it right. But yeah.
Okay. All right. So what we're going to do, our next topic that we're going to go to is support, movement, and locomotion. As we talk about support, movement, and locomotion, we are talking about the skeletal system. All right. We have two major systems to complete: skeletal system and nervous system, where we talk about neurons and so forth. And then we are going to brush up on genetics. We have done a genetics class before, and we have a clear understanding of how they work in terms of genes, right? But we're going to do the topic itself. So I wanted to complete all the labs. As I talk about labs, guys, don't wait until Friday or later in Thursday night before you start to ask questions. Well, if you know what you are doing, or if you understand, because what you're going to do is you're going to do the plan and design based on the one you have done before, right? I've marked about 2 or 3 lab books so far, and persons are doing well, and you guys are making some silly mistakes. I always tell you guys, when you're joining a table, please give me a title at the table. Some of you guys no title any at all. I'm seeing some diagram that are not even labeled. All right. I'm just hoping that you guys can come in back in school, maybe a 1 day or so. If the all right, so I sent something in the group. They said that physical school will not open until about May the 4th. When is your first exam, by the way? Your external exam.
June middle, like June 14 or something.
June 14.
Something around there. I'm not really exactly sure.
Okay, so it's not going to start in May then, right?
No.
So your first exam is June the 14th. I believe you will come in before that. All right, so all those little mistakes that you guys make, those are deduction of little 1 marks and half marks, you know. So I want you guys to 1 day, I want you guys to come in and correct them. All right. So what we're going to do now, basically we're going to talk about the skeletal system. We're going to talk about the structure of the skeletal system and how they relate to their function. As I said before, each structure, it doesn't matter of what, right? Structures always relates to their function. Here's a hand sanitizer bottle, right? Look at the structure. It has a broad base here, it has a cork here, and it has a lever here where you can press, right? Now this section here, it serves its purpose, all right? You press it, hand sanitizer come out. So the structure of this here is its function for you to press so hand sanitizer can come out in your hand, right? Everything that is made, it is made for a specific function. Therefore, the structure always relates to this function. So whenever you are identifying or you're explaining something and they say state the function of this, always relate the function to the structure. Always. All right. Now, the skeleton. Somebody please read.
You might think from looking at the bones in a museum that a skeleton is dry and rigid, but this is not so. Bones are living tissue. They store minerals like calcium, phosphorus, which the body needs to grow. The marrow in the bones is the site where red blood cells and some white blood cells are produced. The bones that make up the skeleton are strong enough to support weight and light enough to enable you to move. There are 206 bones in the skeleton of various shapes and sizes. In the figure is the femur, which is the main bone.
Why do they call the femur the main bone?
It's the longest bone.
It's the longest bone found in the body. No, as they told you guys before, right? Didn't you know that red blood cells and white blood cells are produced in bone? Specifically in the bone marrow.
Yes, sir. That's why they have like marrow transport.
Okay, so we have done that before when we were talking about red blood cells and white blood cells. We definitely know that they are produced in the bone marrow of the bones, right? No, this is not new to you, even though we are teaching the topic, but most of this is not new to you. What do you think the function of the cartilage is?
The function it has a similar function to the bone, but it's light and more flexible.
Okay, so how does it assist movement? So I'm moving my elbow here, right? I'm moving my hand into one plane. How does the cartilage found here assist me moving my hand in
Reduce the friction between the bones.
Good. So what it does, it's basically some form of muscle that is present there, right? It allows lubrication. Now, lubrication comes from a fluid that is called the synovial fluid. We're going to get to that. Is that word new to you guys? Synovial fluid?
Yes, sir.
All right. So that is basically the fluid that lubricates the bones here, right? That can move back and forth. Now, what do you think connects a muscle to a bone?
Tendon.
T.
Tendons.
Tendons. What do you think connects a bone to another bone? Start with L.
Ligaments.
Ligaments. And how much bone is found in the body?
206.
206. As we said before, the femur is the longest bone in the body. Where is the femur located, by the way?
In the leg.
Okay. Leg. Would you say leg or thigh?
Thigh, I would say.
Right. All right, continue.
The skull is divided into two main parts. The central bones of the skull, ribs, vertebral column, and sternum form the central axis. This is called the axial skeleton. The bones of the arms and legs, along with the scapula, clavicle, and pelvis, make up the appendicular skeleton.
Appendicular skeleton, right? So basically you have two main parts of the skeleton, right? You have the axial skeleton and the appendicular skeleton, right? Now they are telling you what is made up of each of these. That is called the scapula, the clavicle, the legs there, the pelvis, and that is what makes up the appendicular skeleton. I'm going to show you a diagram that distinguishes between both of them. All right. Now, the human skeleton is made up of bones and cartilage. Cartilage is a softer tissue than bone that acts as a shock absorber, and it is found at the end of the bone. So it is found at the end of this. Do you know what is this? What this bone is called? Let me just show you. What is this bone called? From your clavicle to your elbow. What's that bone called? From here to here. You know? Start with H.
I don't know.
Hand. I don't know.
H-U?
Not sure enough, sir.
Hummus. Humor.
Humor. Finish it.
Humorous.
Humorous. Good. Who said hand? Who really said hand?
Tina said hand and Tina said hummus.
Right. So that is called the humorous, guys. All right. So where was I now? So the cartilage, right, acts as a shock absorbent is found at the end of each bone, where two bones meet to form a joint. It allows the bones to move smoothly over one another. That's why I am able to do this, and I am not feeling any pain. Do you know what is arthritis? Not Arthritis now, you know.
Oh, it's when the cartilage that between the bones degrade, that the bones scrape on each other, cause
Good. So that's why if I move here now, when I have arthritis, I'm going to start to feel some pain. So what are they saying is that when the bone move over each other, which we call gliding joints, we don't feel any pain any at all because of cartilage. Thank God for cartilage. No, tendons are tough fibers that connect muscles to bones, right? We just said that. Tendons connect muscle to bones, and ligaments join one bone to another. Ligaments join one bone to another bone, right? Know them. Ligaments are elastic fibers which allow joints to move. Because the human skeleton is found inside the body, it is called an endoskeleton. All vertebrates, have endoskeletons. Insects, on the other hand, have a skeleton, and the outside of their bodies are called exoskeleton. All right? We know that endo mean in, exo mean out, external, internal, right? Same procedure. Now, the skeleton has four main functions. Please read those for me, please.
this. Oh,
Okay, let me read. The skeleton has four main functions. It provides protection for the soft internal organs. The skull protects the brain, the ribs protect the lungs and heart, and the vertebrae protects the spinal cord. The pelvis protects the reproductive organs. It provides support for the body, giving it shape